Mark Stoops is joining us on the phone. Mark, you've been doing spring practice, and it's been fun to read about what's going on, but you're actually there. So what's it been like here for the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Thanks for the update. I was wondering what was going on because I had some alarms going on in my office. So if that goes off again, I apologize. I'll try to mute my phone here real quick. But, yeah, there was some alarms going off, and so I was wondering what was happening. So I always go to you. You know the scoop before I do, so I'm glad. I just hope everything is safe on campus.
Yeah, me as well.
Sure. Yeah. Transitioning to practice, very pleased, Matt. I know, it's easy. I just did a little segment here after practice, and, it's hard to contain my enthusiasm right now. But obviously, all coaches, you're always very cautious, and you're always trying to continue to push and challenge your players and challenge your staff to get better each and every day and to be consistent. In the spring, it's a little different because we're practicing only 3 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and we have meetings, lifting, and walkthroughs and things of that nature on the off days. But it feels like, for me, we just got off the practice field here this morning, and I can't wait to get back out there again Saturday because things are really going in the right direction. We're getting better, and that's the big thing. We all know we have to, and that's what we're in this business for, is to get better each and every day. All of us, every coach, every player, everybody in the organization, you're just trying to get better and better each day. And that old cliche of trying to get 1% better each day is not, it's the truth. And but I'm very excited about what I'm seeing. You went to Tuesday's practice, and I have the data, here from, obviously we have time to analyze it from Tuesday. We get all day Wednesday and all those things. You look at it, and our quarterbacks, the first two guys with Bo and Joey, were 29 to 34 on Tuesday, and I don't know what their percentage was yet a while ago, but I know we got the ball down the field today better than we have in years. I mean, we threw the ball very efficiently. The play-action game looked really good. We got over the top. It was nice to see accuracy on the deep balls, and it was really good to see guys go up and making competitive plays. So very pleased with the progress so far.
There's a lot of positions you have where we kind of know who's going to play. We've been watching them over the last couple of years, but, of course, a new offensive coordinator and new quarterbacks, so that's going to be what everybody is focused on. In listening to your comments, one of the things I like about you is you can't really hide your emotion. I think that's a great quality because it makes it to where we know how you feel. You seem genuinely excited about what Liam Cohen's bringing and what Joey and Bo are bringing. Is that correct?
That's correct. Most definitely. And, again, the big, the challenge is, and I'm open with the players too. I tell them that. Don't let me sit here and praise you and then, and then – I don't want to say the word on TV, but,
and then they stink. That wouldn't be good.
Next practice. Yeah. So I'm trying to search for a word other than the S word. You know what I mean? But don't sit there and let me praise you and tell you all the good things you're doing and don't follow it up the very next day. You have to stay hungry in football and in this sport, and you got to be aggressive and hungry each and every day, and you got to have an attitude and a chip on your shoulder, or else you're going to get worse. You're either going to get better or you're going to get worse every day. So I really like what they're doing, but I challenge them to come back out and get better the next practice, to get better in the next meeting. But I'm definitely excited with what I've seen so far.
Now, when you hired Liam Cohen, both when I talked to you about him and then when he was on here, a lot of the talk was sort of theoretical about the kind of offensive coordinator he would be theoretically. Now you're seeing it in practice. So having seen it, and you don't have to give away too many secrets, but to the fans who are wondering, what am I going to see? Now that you've seen it in practice, what are fans going to see with the new offensive coordinator and his style?
Well, I think you're going to see, everything that I've always preached and wanted. You want to see balance. I mean, listen, I'm not going to make any predictions. I mean, we have to go produce. We have to go produce. And, we've got to execute, and we've got to carry these things over to the next practice, let alone to the future, and when we get in games and when people see it in the stadium next year, in Kroger Field. I mean, it's just, it's going to take some time. But to this point, and it's very, very early, I'm seeing what I wanted, and that's, a very aggressive offense, even though we're huddling, which is like, foreign to college football right now. But I mean, we're huddling, we're in and out of out of the huddle quickly. We're efficient at the line, and we're aggressive. We're always going to be physical and want to run the ball, but there's also, very efficient play action pass involved. And the quarterbacks, to me, there's a comfort level with the quarterbacks, even though, there's a lot of new things. I still see the quarterbacks more and more comfortable with every rep.
I'll come back to quarterbacks at the end, but Wan'Dale Robinson is now there. I assume he and Josh Ali kind of are your two cornerstone wide receivers, but there's a lot of dudes behind them, and there's a lot of guys that could end up stepping up. Talk to me about Wan'Dale. You now have him there. And then talk to me about some of these other guys. Who's looking good in the receiver front?
Well, you brought up Wan'Dale, and, Wan'Dale and Josh are playing at a very high level, a level we haven't seen around here in a while. I haven't. And so very, very efficient. Those two guys, both are kind of feeding off each other, and I think excited about what they're seeing. There's a lot of opportunities out there for them, and they're making plays. You feel those two guys in every drill we do. And, so that's been very good. Obviously, we're deep. We have three tight ends that are playmaking type tight ends, and so you got Josh and you got Wan'Dale. There's, it's really nice to see Cleavon. Cleavon has been, really working hard for years, and he's starting to really get his opportunity to have an impact. He's playing multiple positions, and he's showing up. Isaiah Epps is a guy that we got to, he's coming back off that foot. We haven't had him at full strength for a couple of years, and he's a guy that brings us some really good speed that we need to see. Obviously, Drennan, we got to continue to bring him along. He's out there. He's had a couple little medical things that were, bringing him along, but he's a guy that really has great top-end speed as well. And of course, Isaiah Cummings we're bringing along, and Tay showed up today. He caught towards the end of practice, he caught a deep pass. I've been waiting to see him emerge because he's got some speed that we've been missing. And it was really good to see Tay make some plays for us today. So we got a lot of guys. We got guys coming in, so there's quite a bit of depth out there.
I looked at Mel Kiper's mock draft, and I'm seeing Jamin Davis now as the 17th pick, which is awesome for him, and I don't want to say surprising, but also just an amazing rise. So talk about that, but then how do you replace him? I mean, that's such a difference maker. It could be the fourth first-round pick Kentucky's had since Tim Couch. So how do you replace that, and what do you think about his rise?
Well, I mean, heck, Matt, a year ago, you guys weren't talking about Jamin. You know what I mean?
Weren't. No, we weren't.
You weren't. I mean, and if Chris, if Chris doesn't have that tragedy happen to him, Jamin would be battling Chris just to get on the field.
Yeah.
And so that's what you want. That's what you want in your program. But talking about Jamin, so proud of him. Just the work that he's done. It doesn't surprise me that he's rising. He is learning to play the game each and every day. He came out early, which you have to be super talented, but also very mature to come out early and have the rise that he's having. But I think most people realize that as good as he is and as great a young man as he is, he still has his best football in front of him. So the sky's the limit for him. He's going to do wonderful things. He'll be a great ambassador, just like all those guys that are in the NFL for us and representing Kentucky and the BBN. Jamin will be a great ambassador for us for years to come. He'll be keep that tradition going of the linebackers that are playing in the NFL right now from Kentucky, and Jamin will do wonderful. But it's always next man up mentality, and that Jamin knows that. Is no disrespect to him. He's sitting there rooting on his brothers and waiting for the next guy to emerge. And obviously, DeAndre is set for a big year, getting bigger and getting stronger every year. De'Aaron Jackson is a guy that we have had high hopes for. He's a big, strong guy in the middle. He's a thumper. that's playing really good. Jared Casey is getting better with every rep. The transfer that we got in, Luke Fulton, brings us a strong presence in there as well. So we've got guys that'll step up. It's always next man mentality. Our expectations defensively are going to get better each and every year, each and every game, each and every practice. We're trying to get better.
I want to talk to you about recruiting for a second. You can't talk specifics, obviously, but you guys have done a great job over the last few years, well, really since you've been here, of Ohio and Kentucky and really locking those states down. And now that map is expanding. And what's fascinating to me is that you guys are going after dudes who, even if you don't get them, you're in the mix for guys that, we haven't been in the mix for here. I mean,
right.
There's a 5-star kid right now that I'm looking at from a state that has a great football program, and he named his Final Four, and you're one of them. And whether you get him or not, you're in on those. It feels like to me the players you're looking for, that map has expanded. How high you're willing to reach in other states and go for has expanded. Am I right about that?
You are. And when we got here, I didn't want to expand and go too far away in, how do I put this politely, but taking guys that were, 14th choice in the SEC. You know what I mean? Or
I know what you mean.
12th, 13th, 14th choice. Like that's not going to help us, it's not going to help us build the program. Guys within maybe a 5-hour radius of our campus, 6-hour radius, you might get to know better. You know them, the coaches, the upside that they have, at least the mentality. I have to recruit a lot of guys. We recruit a lot of people. I mean, we have over 100 players right now out here in spring practice. So I have a lot of guys, and we try to hit 100%, certainly with their character, and making sure we're getting the right guys that are the right fit for the University of Kentucky. But when you go far, or maybe when I first got here, dipping into the deeper South, you had to make sure you're getting the right guys, and we certainly have. I'm so proud of some of the guys we've had that have been great fits for us, and now, as you prove yourself, as you get better, as you have a stronger name in the SEC footprint, you can expand more and more. But again, we got to make sure we're getting the right players. Listen, I say it all the time. I don't pretend to be perfect. We don't hit 100%, but we try. We try to get the right guys that fit our program, that are going to represent us the right way, and win a bunch of football games. And I feel like as we get better, as we prove ourselves, it gives us an opportunity to expand further.
Do you find yourself when you go in, I know this was true in Ohio, but now when, obviously you've had a lot of success in Michigan, and now I see you in Georgia and Tennessee and et cetera. Yeah. Do you find yourself when you walk in those doors now, or I guess Zoom call in those doors now, that people are a lot more open to you than they were 3-4 years ago?
Not even close. Definitely. Very receptive. Everybody, the coaches have been so good to us, and we've been here for a while now. What I'm going on? 9? Is this 9 coming up, Matt? It's been a long time.
That's right. Yeah,
so
9. Yeah.
They've seen us. They've seen us knocking on those doors. They've seen us calling on these coaches. Even if we don't maybe get a guy, we always try to represent the right way and get in these schools and build relationships with these coaches, and eventually they pay dividends. It comes from a lot of hard work, from a lot of years, from a lot of different people.
All right, I'll finish with this because everybody wants to talk quarterbacks. I know you guys took the transfer from Penn State. He's not here yet, but you do have Gatewood, Bo Allen, Nick Scalzo, et cetera. Yep. Where are we sort of in the quarterback battle, and what role does the transfer, how does that play in when he finally gets here as well?
We will see. I know, it's a hot topic. I realize that. We understand that. I'm not skirting the question when I just say we will see. But, man, we are just worried. And what I love about the quarterbacks that are here right now, and I'm sure that'll be that way with Will, is they're just worried about getting better. That's all you need to worry about. When you start worrying about other people, if the quarterbacks are worrying about this guy doing well or he's getting this opportunity or not, I mean, that's never going to work out. You can't shy away from competition. You have to just embrace it. You have to concentrate on yourself, and again, without I try to be careful with the cliches, but it's so true. How efficient, how effective is the team playing when you're in there? Not so much just you, right? I mean, how are we playing? How are we doing? Are we winning games? Are we, moving the football? And I don't want anything to slow our progress down. Nothing. So this is wide open. The best players are going to play. I love all of our players. But we need to move forward. I am adamant about getting better. Being more efficient at throwing the football, getting better overall, pushing the program to another level, and really that's our that's our concentration. If you don't want to compete, don't come here. So we got good guys. I'm really pleased with the way they are approaching it, with the way they're working, and if they keep that mindset, don't worry about it, BBN. Good things are going to happen next fall, no matter who's under center. So let's just kind of keep that concentration on, embracing the competition, continuing to work. Let's get better. Let's be more efficient offensively overall, and good things will happen, and we'll all be happy.
All right, before I let you go, Ryan, are you still on here?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes.
Okay.
I have to turn my mic on.
Mark, Ryan has a neighbor who's upset at him because he leaves his dogs outside barking. And it was a little old lady. Yeah. She left a message and said, "Can you please take your dogs inside?" I want you to weigh in. Ryan seems to say dogs are dogs. They bark. You just have to get over it, neighbor. Whose side are you on? You're on Ryan's side or the little old lady who said, "Can you please take it inside? The dog's barking too much."
Oh, I'm definitely on the side of the little old lady that lives beside. You know what I mean? You gotta muzzle that dog, Ryan, for God's sakes. I mean, the poor woman might need a nap or something like that. You know what I mean? I mean, you can't be having her, especially if you got that dog out there early in the morning or late at night. I mean, give the lady a break. Put that dog in from time to time, and I mean, let everybody get a little peace. Nobody wants to hear that all day.
I love it. Coach, you're exactly right. We've been trying to put – it may have taken you to make this happen. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time.
All right. Thanks, guys.